The killer phrase was at the end when Kimmel said, "You just don't realize it." Because you see, he's smarter than you, and he needs you to know that. And his ego can't bear that there's someone out there more famous and more influential than him. I got news for you, Kimmel. The last time you mattered, Bruce Jenner still had a
million views. Whereas, as I point out, on ABC, a massive network that comes into your home for free, that you have to make no effort to find, at best, Jimmy Kimmel can get 1.5 million. He needs to have a little self-perspective before going out there and hurling these insults because he looks a little silly.
Hey you, yeah, you scrolling through YouTube craving something epic. What if I told you we're diving into a media roast so wild it'll make your group chat explode? No scripts, no mercy, just pure chaos where TV hosts get roasted faster than marshmallows at a campfire. Stick around, this gets messy. Hit that like button if you're ready for the heat.
Case in point, last night, all the other late night hosts threw a hissy fit. It's too bad Tim Waltz is still grieving, or he could send them all a sack of industrial strength tampons.
You all know what they saw. They saw what we saw. They saw the frail elderly man who needed help getting off the stage. They're just too chicken shit to tell us about it because they accurately deduced that he could still be the Democratic nominee and they don't want to ding him up. Maybe you give Barbara a pass. Who gives a damn what this singer saw or says? But you know what? Jimmy Kimmel happens to be employed by ABC, which happens to have a rather large news organization. And he has been one of President Trump's most vocal critics. Where are you, Jimmy? On vacation? Not good enough. You can still use your thumbs to send out a tweet. You could set the record straight right now, but you won't.
Picture a dazzling TV studio, spotlights blazing, and two media giants ready to throw shade. Jake, the Quip Carson, late-night sarcasm king, whose one-liners hit like a rogue firework. Opposite him, Lila, the laser Vega, a talk show host with a smile sharper than a chef's knife. They're here to roast Max Sterling, a network star who thinks he's primetime's moral guru. Spoiler, he's not. Let's dive into this internet-breaking showdown.
Poor Jimmy. True, it was a terrible night for women, children, and for the hundreds of thousands of hard-working immigrants who cut his lawn.
It was a terrible night for women, for children, for the hundreds of thousands of hard-working immigrants who make this country go, for healthcare, for our climate.
Max Sterling was once the king of cheap laughs. Think bad wigs and worse skits. But then, Max swapped fart jokes for sermons, preaching about everything from recycling to world peace on his game show, Guess the Celebrity's Dog. The irony's thicker than a triple-decker burger. Jake and Lila aren't buying this glow-up. They've got receipts, and they're ready to spill the tea on Max's rebrand gone rogue. Jake struts on stage, mic in hand, smirking like he just hacked the algorithm. Max Sterling, he starts, used to host a show where people juggled flaming torches for a $50 gift card. Now he's the Feelings Police Commissioner. The crowd roars. Jake plays a clip of Max in a 2015 chicken costume, clucking for laughs. From poultry in motion to preaching carbon emissions, Max, the only thing you're saving is last week's takeout. Check that clip in the description.
Comedic rails Kimmel had wandered.
Last night was the 96th Academy Awards show, and while you might have missed it, there was one clear winner. No, not Oppenheimer. It was sanctimonious leftists for their lead role in pretending they are better than you. Winner number one, Jimmy Kimmel. For the fourth time, Kimmel hosted the Oscars before an adoring crowd of Hollywood stars who laughed and curried favor with the man who wore blackface so many times. Yes, some of the very same celebrities who wanted you to believe they were horrified after yours truly said in 2018 that people used to don dark makeup in order to imitate well-known black celebrities and it wasn't a big deal. Absolutely ate up the performance by Hollywood darling Mr. Kimmel, whose blackface costumes included his oft-repeated bit as basketball star Karl Malone.
Now, Karl Malone never seen no flying saucer himself, but if he do, That's gonna be a spooky time.
Lila Vega glides in, cool as a polar vortex. Max, she says, sipping coffee like it's truth serum. You can't jump from bikini trivia to ethics lectures without a pit stop at self-awareness. She shows an ad of Max as a pirate hawking energy drinks. This guy's telling us to trust science? Max, the only science you know is how to tank a ratings graph. The crowd's losing it. Lila's calm jabs hit like thunder. Subscribe if you're loving this. The studio's electric and social media's on fire. Fake tweets flash up. Jake and Lila just made Max a meme. War roast of the century. Jake jumps in. Max did a 10-minute monologue on saving oceans, then jetted to Vegas in a private plane. Bro, the fish aren't your fan base. Lila adds, his show gets 200,000 viewers. My grandma's knitting stream has more clout. The banter's relentless. Comment below who's winning, Jake or Lila.
For everyone who voted against him, and guess what? It was a bad night for everyone who voted for him, too. You just don't realize it yet.
You know what? If I ever cry on TV, it'll be because Maroon 5 put out a new song. But that's it. You big Now,
just when you think Max is down for the count, he tries a comeback that's more tragic than a rom-com sequel. He posts a teary video on his channel claiming he's evolved into a beacon of truth. The crowd's already giggling before Jake even opens his mouth. Evolved? Jake scoffs, leaning into the mic like he's about to drop a diss track. Max, you went from fake mustaches to fake tears. That's not evolution. That's a midlife crisis with a laugh track and a bad filter. The audience howls, phones out, ready to meme this moment into oblivion. Jake keeps going. This guy's out here acting like he's Gandhi with a studio audience, but the only thing he's leading is a parade of bad decisions.
Just this past 2 weeks, they had the Kennedy Center honors the other night where Joe Biden couldn't say Dionne Warwick. He kept calling her Diane, and he didn't know who Barry Gibb was. He kept calling him Billy. You know who else was honored? At the Kennedy Center. You know who else? Billy Crystal. Just FYI, do you know who once opened up the Academy Awards in full blackface?
oh,
Billy
yeah.
Crystal. Billy Crystal. And do you know who's going to be hosting the Academy Awards this year? Jimmy Kimmel. Do you know who's worn blackface repeatedly and spoken inner city sort of urban accent saying she needs to darn those socks? Jimmy Kimmel as Oprah, as a fat-suited, black-faced, darning socks Oprah.
Late night host Jimmy Kimmel is back on the air after taking the summer off. He's missed a lot. Kimmel says if you're not vaccinated, you shouldn't get a hospital ICU bed. But I'm not sure if Jimmy was being sincere because he wasn't crying. Anyway, it's just funny hearing someone say, I see you, who nobody actually sees. Look, I don't want to suggest that Kimmel's show has become boring and predictable, but last night during the taping, people in the studio audience were changing the channel.
Remember when he tried to go viral with that dance challenge? Yeah, it got 12 likes, and one was from his mom. The crowd's losing it and the fake tweets keep rolling. Max's comeback video is so sad my dog cried Dr. Sterling flops. Lila steps up, her voice cutting through the laughter like a laser-guided missile. Max says he's fighting misinformation, but his last fact check was confirming his own IMDb page. Buddy, your biggest lie is calling yourself a thought leader. She pauses for effect, letting the crowd marinate in the burn. You didn't evolve, Max. You just swapped a clown wig for a soapbox, and the soapbox is wobbly. The studio's buzzing, and social media's exploding with gifs of Max's teary close-up. Jake piles on. He tried to clap back with a monologue about healing the nation. Bro, the only thing you're healing is my insomnia. Lila nods. Max, your video got ratioed so hard it's trending under cringe. Stick to game shows. This plot twist isn't just a fail, it's a viral disaster. Smash that notification bell to catch part 2 of this train wreck. Jake and Lila aren't just throwing shade, they're backing it up with a full-on evidence vault.
Misinformation.
You got the Sunday morning show with Stephanopoulos into the evening Academy Awards broadcast with Kimmel, and ABC elevating, the blackface lovin' Kimmel. They, at the same time, fired Chris Harrison, host of The Bachelor, for trying to defend one contestant on The Bachelorette for saying, gee, I know I went to this antebellum party, a couple years ago. I guess I didn't see anything wrong with it. And all he said was, are we judging her by today's standards or are we judging her by, old standards, whatever. He was basically trying to say, are we being too hard on her? Got fired. Chris Harrison has to be fired by ABC. I don't know why, because he's not a committed leftist, because he's not out there more saying all the terrible things about Republicans that Jimmy Kimmel says. So this is them saying, we get it, we're an ally, right? And I guess maybe they're trying to make up with their racist past, for their racist past, without ever acknowledging.
Jimmy's career peaked with busty girls on trampolines. Now the only boob we see is him. He once co-hosted The Man Show. Now he's sobbing like he just watched Steel Magnolias 3 days into his menstrual cycle.
Jake rolls a montage of Max's greatest flops, and it's a cinematic disaster reel. First up, a 2014 clip of Max in a hot dog costume selling mattresses, complete with a ketchup-stained bun. This is the guy lecturing us on climate change? Jake quips. Max, the only thing you're recycling is bad ideas. The crowd's in stitches as the montage continues. A failed pilot called Max's Extreme Karaoke, where he sang off-key in a cowboy hat, and a bizarre infomercial where he tried to sell glow-in-the-dark flip-flops. Max thought he was inventing the wheel, Jake says, but he just invented a reason to change the channel. The audience is glued, laughing so hard they're forgetting to blink. Lila steps in with her own ammo, pulling up a dusty clip from Max's past. Here's Max hosting Celebrity Sock Folding for 3 seasons. He called reality TV low art, but spent 36 episodes folding socks with D-list stars. She smirks, letting the absurdity sink in. Max, you didn't just host that show, you were the executive producer. Own it! The screen flashes to a 2016 interview where Max brags about redefining entertainment, only to cut to a clip of him slipping on a banana peel during a live stunt. Redefining entertainment? Lila says, more like redefining secondhand embarrassment. The crowd's roaring, and the internet's already turning Max's banana slip into a meme storm.
Now, I will tell you, he's not the worst. The Daily Show has the worst ratings. They only have 366,000 people watching that show. During the Jon Stewart years, it was over 2 million. Now it's down to 300,000. Seth Meyers, absolutely dreadful. He doesn't even have 1 million, 778,000. I mean, for network television, this is, you don't have to pay for it. It's there when you turn on your TV, you plug it in. That's a dreadful number. Greg Gutfeld on cable, which you do have to pay for, it has more than double the numbers of Seth Meyers. Jimmy Kimmel, 1.5 million averaging, also equally horrible.
These fellas are experiencing deep mental pain. And it's not just them. Journalists are now offering tips to deal with their disappointment, frustration, even fear. And I get it, that's normal after any loss. I'm still mad about losing World's Sexiest Man to Johnny Depp. But why would people feel fear? Maybe because their only news sources are constantly telling them Trump's gonna turn America into Germany. But you know who felt actual fear during the Biden administration? People who had to ride the subway or have to buy groceries.
Jake jumps back. Max's career is like a thrift store, full of stuff nobody asked for and nothing fits. Lila seals the deal. You want receipts? We've got a whole warehouse and they're all marked return to sender. This isn't just a roast, it's a legacy rewrite and the audience can't get enough. Check our playlist for more takedowns like this. Jake leans into the mic, eyes glinting like he's about to drop a viral soundbite. Max, you're not a thought leader. You're a thought follower with a teleprompter and a bad agent. The crowd erupts, half laughing, half gasping. He's not done. Your monologues are like a TED Talk crashed into a soap opera and nobody's buying the drama. You want to save the world? Start with your ratings. They're on life support. The audience is eating it up, phones out, tweeting every word. Lila steps in, her voice steady but lethal. Max, you can't rebrand as a saint when your highlight reel looks like a blooper tape from a low-budget sitcom. She pauses, letting the silence sting. You used to make audiences laugh. Now you make them change the channel. That's not growth. That's a glitch. The crowd's on its feet, roaring like they're at a rock concert. This isn't just a roast. It's a cultural reset. Jake tosses in one last zinger. Max, your show's so dull, it's the only thing keeping melatonin in business. Lila seals it. You're not leading a movement, you're leading a nap. The internet's already memeing it, and you can feel the algorithm loving every second. Want to see Max's response? Links in the description. Go laugh at his damage control. But that's the roast of the century, folks. Jake and Lila turned Max Sterling into a viral punchline, and the internet's still picking up the pieces. This wasn't just a takedown, it was a masterclass in shade, a glorious bonfire of Max's self-righteous rebrand. Did Jake's rapid-fire zingers steal the show, or was Lila's surgical precision the real MVP? Drop your vote in the comments. Team Jake, Team Lila, or are you secretly rooting for Max to make a comeback? Speaking of Max, his response video is out there, flopping harder than his karaoke pilot. Want to see it? Links in the description, but fair warning, it's like watching a motivational poster cry. Hit that like button if you were cackling through this roast, and if you laughed so hard you snorted your coffee, give us a subscribe for weekly chaos that hits harder than Jake's one-liners. Don't forget to smash that notification bell. You don't want to miss our next takedown, trust me. We've got merch in the description too. Grab a roast mode t-shirt or a mug that says "I survived the Sterling Smackdown" to flex your love for savage content. Oh, and join our community tab for exclusive behind-the-scenes clips, like Jake practicing his chicken impression, or Lila roasting our producer for bad coffee. Want to shape the next roast? Vote in the community poll for who we should target next. Maybe a fictional influencer or a wannabe guru. Your call. Share this video with your squad, your co-workers, even your grandma. Let's make the algorithm beg for mercy. And if you're still here, drop a fire emoji in the comments to prove you made it through this epic showdown. Let's keep the chaos rolling. See you in the next one, you absolute legends.